#1 10 o'clock news in the state of Texas. This is News Channel 11 at 10.
Lubbock Mayor Wendy Sitton is back home in Lubbock, recovering from surgery in New York. Good evening and thank you for joining us. Mayor Wendy Sitton arrived in Lubbock late last night after she was released from the Sloan Kettering Cancer Center in New York on Friday. The mayor underwent surgery to remove a cancerous tumor from her right thigh on Tuesday. Doctors say the surgery to remove the malignant tumor was successful and she is making a speedy recovery.
I expect that I'll be working full-time at City Hall maybe within the next 3 weeks. I don't know when I can drive exactly, so, you know, that will be limiting. But I can start working my faxes and my emails, you know, starting Monday morning.
Mayor Sitton is expected to continue her treatment at the Joe Arrington Cancer Center here in Lubbock. There was quite a scare for several people on Texas Tech's campus this afternoon. A fire broke out in a utility closet of Wiggins Complex. Fire officials say sprinklers thankfully put out the fire. Fortunately, no one was hurt. There were people in the building when the fire started, but everyone was evacuated safely.
Units arriving on the scene, we did send 3 units into the interior, the basement area where the main fire was. The fire did originate and was contained to one storage room. It was a clean storage room.
Fire officials estimate the fire caused about $3,000 to $5,000 worth of damage. Tech fire officials are investigating. A local nursing home is accused of not providing its residents with the proper care. Texas Department of Human Services say August Health Care of Lubbock, formerly known as Southern Manor, threatens the health and safety of its residents. News Channel 11 Sala Kim is here with more. Sala?
Well, Becky, August Healthcare of Lubbock is being accused of not taking care of their residents properly. Family members of one resident spoke out today and tells us conditions at the nursing home are not good.
Tubing that goes into his throat to breathe with. They have like a breathing machine.
Becky Maestas is talking about her brother, Billy Doherty, a resident at August Healthcare of Lubbock. He has multiple sclerosis and needs his tube changed at least every hour. But Becky says each time she goes to visit her brother, the tubes are dirty.
I said, this is not right, that y'all need to, you know, take better care of him, and that his tubing was dirty and that would cause infection, and he was already there with infection.
And there's more. Her husband Juan says Billy even developed bed sores since he's been at August Healthcare of Lubbock.
They're like skin tears, you know, and they don't turn them right. And when they don't turn them right, then it tears the skin. They develop into cancerous sores. And now they're having to doctor those, and it could have been prevented a long time ago if they had just done their job right.
August Healthcare of Lubbock refused to talk to us about this incident on camera.
You're trespassing. You're going to have to leave the property.
On February 7th, Texas Department of Human Services posted an order suspending admissions, saying they are in violation of Texas Health and Safety Code. And earlier this week, Facility Administrator Kevin Kogan said, quote, "We are working in good faith with municipal, state, county, and federal regulators in an effort to achieve substantial compliance with licensing standard." Still, that is not good enough for Juan and Becky Maestas, who says their brother is not in good hands.
Because he has not been turned right, has not been properly taken care of, and it breaks my heart to see something like that in nursing homes.
And Billy Doherty is not in the nursing home right now. He was taken to University Medical Center yesterday afternoon because his condition is getting worse. And the nursing home has been in business for some 30 to 35 years under several different ownerships. It became August Healthcare of Lubbock this past October. Becky, back to you.
All right, thank you, Sala. And Steve is here. A windy day, a very windy day.
It was windy, and I know that you were working late this afternoon, this early evening, so you didn't get a chance to get outside. It was a beautiful evening in the area. Let's take a look at our first forecast. The high today was 68 degrees, generally sunny conditions. Some clouds have moved in, and we'll see more of that high cloudiness overnight and tomorrow. Look for a low of about 33 tomorrow. By noontime tomorrow, 61. There's some more warm weather on the way. I'll have details in the first alert forecast.
Looking forward to it. Thanks, Steve. Local flower stores may enjoy the business Valentine's Day brings, but I'm sure many employees will welcome the break after the rush is over. Flowers.com, a popular website, estimates about 110 million flowers will be sold for Valentine's Day tomorrow. And flower shops here in Lubbock are definitely feeling it. Town South Floral has 200 bouquets of flowers ready to be delivered tomorrow. Manager Sharon Owen says this past week they've averaged 50 deliveries. That's 30 more than a typical day. And it's quite a lucrative business as they have doubled flower prices to $6 a rose.
It's the second best holiday of the year, Mother's Day being the first, Valentine's the second.
She says you can still buy flowers tomorrow, but make sure that you call early. Flowers are not the only way to go here in Lubbock. Many people are giving gifts that involve jewelry, rubies, bracelets, and wedding sets. And a big seller for Valentine's Day, gold. Valentine's Day is a big day for gifts and for weddings, says Justice of the Peace Jim Hansen.
The women say because it's romantic, and the men say so they can remember when the anniversary is.
Whatever the reason, jewelers say it's a great time for business. Jerry Myers tells us her customers are spending anywhere from $200 to $1,000 on their Valentine sweethearts.
We sold a lot of collar pieces, heavy gold pieces. We sold colored stones, are beautiful, especially ruby because it's red and it's Valentine's Day. We sold a lot of engagement sets.
These big sales come at a time when the gold market is volatile.
It's going up and going down. Last Friday it came up like $22 in one day. It's like the stock market, you know, it could go way up or it could go way down, or it could just make small moves on a day-to-day basis.
But rest assured, if you're buying for your sweetheart, your prices won't skyrocket.
The manufacturers do sell by the daily price, and I try to buy as low as I can, and then I can market that way, and it saves everybody.
While gold prices prove to be a roller coaster ride, Justice of the Peace Jim Hansen advises his newlyweds keep their relationships much smoother.
Wish them a life of happiness together, and occasionally give them my own bits of wisdom to be patient with one another and kind to one another and quick to forgive.
As for the gold market, jeweler Jerry Myers says when she first got into the business 25 years ago, gold priced in at about $50 an ounce. In the late 70s, it went as high as $900, and these days, gold cost about $335 an ounce. 1 in 5 people go each day without enough food to eat. Here at home, the South Plains Food Bank supplies food for 16,000 meals a day. Tonight, the food bank, along with Texas Tech, treated more than 100 people to their Feast of Famine banquet, a benefit dinner with a twist. 15% of them had upper-class meals, 30% had middle-class meals, and 55% had lower-class meals, which consisted of soup and crackers. The event coordinator says such statistics represent the reality of the world. Tickets were $3 per student and $8 for non-students, and all of those proceeds went to the South Plains Food Bank. The latest Newsweek poll puts Republican presidential candidates John McCain and George W. Bush in a virtual dead heat in South Carolina. It's less than a week now until the state's primary, one that both camps consider critical to their momentum. Brooke Hart is following the campaigns from Washington.
Taking a spin in NASCAR country, John McCain promises the high road in the final week before South Carolina's primary, pulling all negative ads against George W. Bush.
Win or lose, we're not going to engage in it, and I'm very happy to take the risk associated with it because we're not going to do it.
Bush, holding babies at one event, calls his own campaign ads only defensive.
His conservative hometown paper warns
it's time the rest of the nation learns about the McCain we know.
My spots aren't negative. That's what I'm trying to say. That's an old bait-and-switch game.
The switch? McCain's call for a truce, says Bush. He says his ad strategy won't change, airing responses even to spots McCain has pulled.
John McCain compared me to Bill Clinton and said I was untrustworthy. That's over the line.
McCain's newest ad is about himself.
John McCain, character, courage.
A high-risk strategy of self-promotion, just days before South Carolinians decide which pitches work and which backfire. In Washington, Brooke Hart, NBC News.
On this last day for the comic strip Peanuts to appear in papers across the nation, its creator has died, and the Dallas Cowboys say goodbye to one of their own. Coming up next on News Channel 11 at 10.
This portion of News Channel 11 is brought to you by Automax of Lubbock.
This sale is big.
No, Jack, this sale is bigger.
No, this sale's bigger than big.
No, Jack. This is the biggest sale in Automax's history.
Just bring your W-2 and all your tax papers to Automax. We'll have Auto Tax file your taxes, and we'll double your tax return check up to $2,000 to use it today towards the down payment of any select vehicle in stock.
Don't miss the biggest sale in the history of Automax. Automax of Lubbock.
What does it mean when we say we're a health system? It means when you need us, you'll have access to every aspect of the largest healthcare organization in the region. It means pioneering research programs and established technological innovations. It means more than 6,000 people working toward a common goal of caring for the whole person, body, mind, and spirit. It means using the strengths of our system to help you and your community become healthier.
Tuesday on Will and Grace, meet Will's dad, Sidney Pollock. Wait till you see what happens when he tells everyone that Will and Grace are married.
So we're married. I guess that explains why you haven't touched me in 15 years.
But Grace will set the record straight.
We have 3 kids, Hannah, Rachel, and Liam.
Okay, maybe she won't. A full hour of Will and Grace. Then,
Dateline Tuesday. When you lock your motel room door, are you safe? Criminals look for weaknesses in security. Our hidden cameras expose the dangers. Dateline Tuesday.
Here we are.
Yeah.
Hello? Oh, hey, Mom. Uh-huh. Okay.
What?
It's my curfew.
Your curfew's 10:16?
Yeah, I guess so. Sorry. Thanks, Mom.
You never know when your kids are going to need you. That's why Southwestern Bell offers Family Ties. Buy a Nokia 5120 and get a Nokia 918 free.
You are watching Becky Fremo, Brian Hughes in the Forecast Center, and Vinny Vincenta Sports. This is News Channel 11 at 10.
After winning the hearts of children around the world, Charles Schulz dies the night before his final comic strip appears in Sunday newspapers. Tracy Potts takes a look back at the man who created Charlie Brown, Snoopy, and the gang.
And all of a sudden, it's gone. It's been taken away from me.
After making the world laugh for nearly 50 years, cartoonist Charles Schulz dies the night before the final appearance of his popular Peanuts comic strip. His family says after retiring from the cartoon last November, Schulz gave up fighting the colon cancer that led to his death.
I think maybe he decided that his true passion was in the strip. And when that was gone, it was over.
For nearly half a century, Schulz created the magic enjoyed by 350 million readers worldwide. The cartoon started in 7 newspapers and eventually spanned the globe, appearing in nearly 2,600 publications in 75 countries and 21 languages, plus dozens of television shows and musicals.
And it's fun when you've got something that you know is good and that nobody else has been able to do. And yeah, it's fun, sure.
His last cartoon is a goodbye message and a collaboration of memorable moments from over the years. Yet in all his success, there's one thing Schulz says he regretted about his central character, Charlie Brown.
What a dirty trick. He never had a chance to kick the football.
By request of Schulz's children, his retirement and death marked the end of the Peanuts gang in print. Charles Schulz was 77 years old. Tracy Potts, NBC News, Los Angeles.
What a great man. Steve Devine is standing by in the First Alert Forecast Center. Steve, what can we expect weather-wise?
Well, Becky, we have some very mild temperatures to discuss in our First Alert forecast, and this evening was really just the beginning of it. We hit a high today of 68 just as the winds were dying down here in the Lubbock area. Our morning low was 37. Still no precipitation. We may have a hint of that in the First Alert forecast, and that's coming up next.
This portion of News Channel 11 is brought to you by your local Chrysler Plymouth dealer.
The new 2000 Toyota 4Runner from Gene Messer Toyota. Take it to the mountains. Take it to the beach. Take it to the limit. And with more than 25 in stock and on the way, you can take your pick. The new 2000 4Runner, only at Gene Messer Toyota.
on Will and Grace. Meet Will's dad, Sidney Pollock. Wait till you see what happens when he tells everyone that Will and Grace are married.
So we're married. I guess that explains why you haven't touched me in 15 years.
But Grace will set the record straight.
We have 3 kids, Hannah, Rachel, and Liam.
Okay, maybe she won't. A full hour of Will and Grace. Then...
Dateline Tuesday. When you lock your motel room door, are you safe? Criminals look for weaknesses in security. Our hidden cameras expose the dangers. Dateline Tuesday.
Philadelphia, 1776.
Gentlemen, it's time to take action.
And the stage is set for independence. The stage is set for the Tony Award-winning Best Musical that lets freedom ring. And a glorious cast of characters sing.
I say vote yes.
Vote yes for the show that has critics and audiences cheering. 1776, live on stage.
Welcome by United Supermarkets. For tickets, call 770-2000.
There is only one Lubbock television station committed to local news at daybreak, noon, 5, 6, and 10. News Channel 11, the one and only station you can count on.
Now through Valentine's Day, Zales has exquisite platinum hearts, like this half-carat heart for just $4.99. It's a Valentine that will last forever at Zales stores nationwide or shop online at zales.com.
Now, the most dependable and accurate forecast, live from News Channel 11's First Alert Forecast Center. Here's Steve Devine.
Welcome back, everyone. First Alert Live Super Doppler is active right now. Unfortunately, there is no precipitation to be seen. Let's take a quick look now. We do have the possibility that this picture may change by, well, it'll take several days at least. That's coming up in the First Alert 7-day forecast. But currently, we do not have any precipitation showing up despite quite a bit of cloud cover. Let's take a look at the clouds. Now, late this afternoon, we had quite a bit of sunshine as the winds died down, but now there's been some high clouds work into the Lubbock area, and we have quite a bit of that across the South Plains, and most of it is pretty thin, and even the cloud cover upstream is also pretty thin, so we've been able to see the moon and even some stars from time to time outside on our tower cam. And if you stepped outside, a little bit of a temperature contrast, though, with the frontal system right across West Texas. Temperatures in the 30s and 40s to the northeast of this front. Generally 40s and 50s off to the west of the frontal system this evening. Again, considerable cloud cover is going to help keep temperatures from dropping as low as they would if we had clear skies. Now let's head outside with our First Alert live digital tower cam. And actually, we're trained on the moon, and from time to time we may be able to see a little bit of the moon. There it is, popping out just on cue. Again, this is the high-level cloudiness that comes and go. It's 48 degrees, southeast wind at 14, the dew point temperature is at 24 degrees, and our relative humidity is at 39%. Again, our high today was 68 degrees. Let's take a look at friends and family. There have been some severe thunderstorms cropping up and a number of tornado watches posted for the southeastern United States, with some strong thunderstorms moving from the Mississippi Valley area eastward. And as those thunderstorms move up to the northeast and encounter the colder air, there's been some sleet and some heavy snow reported across sections of Ohio into Pennsylvania and New York, and there's even some advisories out all the way east to the New Jersey area. Again, the high clouds coming in off the Pacific across California, Arizona, Utah, Colorado, New Mexico, and finally West Texas. It looks like that pattern is going to continue all night long. The good news is late today the winds died down. We should have generally light winds tonight. Now tomorrow morning we'll start off with winds right around 10 to 15 miles per hour. Again, as you start to get into those oranges, you're getting to winds that are up there about 20 miles per hour. And during the day, generally about 10 to 20 mile per hour winds out of the southwest. That's a warm wind for us. Look at these winds, though, up in sections of Colorado, the higher elevations up around 40 miles per hour or so. So we've had a nice evening here late today across the South Plains. Tomorrow, those southwest winds are going to create quite a warm-up. Temperatures in the 70s tomorrow here on the South Plains with a bit of that high cloudiness. As we move on into Tuesday, we're going to see the winds stay with us. They'll be out of the west on Tuesday, about 10 to 20 miles per hour. Again, some more high clouds, still a very dry pattern across the South Plains. Now, low temperatures tonight down into the 30s, so from the most part, just above the freezing mark. Pretty mild this time of year. Quite warm tomorrow, about 15 degrees above average, with highs in the 70s across the South Plains. And here is your First Alert 7-day forecast, talking about that chance of rain, actually late Thursday into Friday, and right now that's just a slight chance of rain. We'll see a little bit of a cool down towards the end of the work work week. Our First Alert Information Network is online at kcbd.com. We're also on KLLL during the day and on Free 107.
All over the place.
We try.
And speaking of going all over the place, you actually got to meet another teacher you can count on this week.
We did. That's one of the fun parts of this job.
Oh, yeah.
This week's teacher, Texas Tech and News Channel 11's teacher you can count on is one who, in the words of her students, pushes you and makes you work harder. I met with her and her class at La Mesa Elementary in Plainview.
And it's like shooting the buffalo.
Judy Balderas has no trouble describing what it is that makes her job special.
The children's excitement. They come in and they're just like a sponge. They are eager to learn when they come into the classroom in the morning, and just a joy. They come in with a smile. They're ready to share their lives with me, and the children are just fun to work with.
A teacher for 8 years, Judy uses skills developed during her first career. For 10 years, Judy was a social worker.
Each child is different, and if you look at each child differently, there are different ways to motivate individual students, and you just have to find that spark in that student and find something that will get them excited about learning.
Principal Sharon Wright has seen Judy's ability to bring out the very best in every child.
Year after year, I've watched her as she's taken students wherever they are, and they just soar under her leadership within the classroom, and she is truly an outstanding teacher and one that you can count on.
Congratulations, Judy, on being recognized as News Channel 11 and Texas Tech's teacher you can count on. For News Channel 11, I'm Steve Devine. And you'll find that here every Friday morning during daybreak, and then, of course, every Sunday evening right here.
Every Sunday. And thank you for filling in. Brian is coming back from his vacation next Saturday, I think.
Next Saturday, that's right.
That lucky bug. Thanks, Steve. Many people talk of their downfall of loving chocolate, but don't get too depressed about eating all those Valentine chocolates. They may not be so bad after all. Karen McKay has the latest in the president's prescription coming up next on News Channel 11 at 10.
This portion of News Channel 11 is brought to you by Gene Messer Ford.
The new 2000 Ford ZX2 from Gene Messer Ford. A car so cool, it's hot. Talk about cool. Let Ford make your down payment, and you're in for $199 a month. The cool 2000 ZX2 for $199 a month. Only at Gene Messer Ford.
Our son was 1 pound 3 ounces when he was born. My wedding ring was able to fit all the way up to his thigh. That's how small he was.
We were told 4 or 5 times that Cooper would not make it through the night. If it weren't for the Children's Miracle Network, we wouldn't have Cooper here with us today.
I love him. He's just the most precious thing, and he's a part of, like, the Wal-Mart family.
The associates at Wal-Mart do an incredible job at raising funds to help children who can't help themselves.
We do it for the kids.
I believe in miracles, and I truly believe I'm the mother of a miracle.
The hardest thing about getting a Whataburger breakfast is deciding what to get.
It was like, boom! It hit me right in the face.
I like breakfast on a bun.
Got sausage. Or bacon. It has egg.
Melted cheese. On a bun.
Crispy bacon, delicious sausage, egg, American cheese on a toasted bun. Breakfast on a bun. Only 99 cents for a limited time at Whataburger.
I went crazy. I could not wait to go to Whataburger.
Real food, real fresh for real folks since 1950.
Happy 50th, Whataburger.
The only medical report on the South Plains to win the Edward R. Murrow Award for Excellence, covering the latest health news and medical breakthroughs. Here's Karen McKay's Healthwise.
Chocolate is a Valentine's favorite, but for some people it's a year-round favorite. Even so, we think of chocolate as a heavyweight temptation that should be avoided. But tonight in our segment, The President's Prescription, Dr. David Smith, president of the Texas Tech Medical Center, says chocolate has a lot of redeeming qualities.
Do you crave chocolate? Actually, new research is showing
Just occasionally, you ought to give in to your craving. The chocolate industry is an $8.2 billion industry. Americans eat 2.8 billion pounds of chocolate annually, or more than 11 pounds per person.
People crave chocolate all the time, and we sell it all year round, but our sales really increase between 300% and 500% on Valentine's Day. It's one of our biggest days of the year.
Texas Tech's Medical Center's Dr. Ron Cook says studies now show chocolate could be good for your health.
There's a recent Dutch study that shows that chocolate, especially dark chocolate, has high levels of an antioxidant called catechins. These antioxidants help protect the body from disease and help protect cells from damage.
Research shows that chocolate has a high amount of antioxidants compared to black tea, red wine, apples, raisins, and pinto beans. Dark chocolate has 4 times the level of antioxidants compared to kidney beans, and cocoa powder has 7 times the amount of antioxidants.
Chocolate also has high levels of another chemical called polyphenols, which have been associated with the reduction of risk of heart disease. Polyphenols reduce the risk of heart disease by blocking a fat-like substance in the bloodstream that prevents clogging of the arteries.
Dr. Cook says chocolate lovers should not let these findings get carried away with eating too many candy bars.
Chocolate also has some bad effects, that it's high in fat and high in calories. If you need to feed your craving for chocolate, it's okay to eat a little bit, everything in moderation.
Happy Valentine's Day. I'm Dr. David Smith from Texas Tech Medical Center.
Do you have a craving now? By the way, chocolate causes the brain to release endorphins, chemicals that make us feel good. And Dr. Smith says studies show that chocolate is the #1 food craved by women, while men tend to crave salty foods. That's all for now. I'm Karen McKay.
Thank you, Karen. And up next, Vinny Vanzetta with sports.
This portion of News Channel 11 is brought to you by your Texas Jeep dealers.
Decades ago, workers across the country were exposed to asbestos, causing thousands to develop lung cancer, mesothelioma, and asbestosis. If you or a loved one has been diagnosed, Barron & Bud might be able to help you get compensation, even if you smoked or were unaware of your exposure. Call the law firm of Barron & Bud. It's time for justice. If you like to leave things to the last minute, don't worry. Our 24-hour tailoring will get you out of any jam. Well, almost.
The Men's Warehouse.
You're going to like the way you look. I guarantee it.
The one and only Lubbock station that shows you the cleanliness of Lubbock restaurants every Thursday is News Channel 11. The one and only station that gives you coverage you can count on.
Around here, Chevy Suburban has become a legend. Some say in the last 65 years, it has moved more than 10 million gallons of Texas tradition. Introducing the best Suburban yet. The all-new Chevy Suburban, like a rock.
Time now for sports. Last night we were talking to John Robison, our chief meteorologist, to order up some wind in favor of Tech's baseball team.
He did well. I think Big John did come through for us. You know, there's no question that this weekend series with USC was a chance for the Red Raiders to learn a lot about themselves and see what kind of a team they can be against the top teams in the country. And also taking 2 of 3 from USC sounded pretty good, too. Top second, 1-0 USC. Chaz Ackerman freezes Billy Peavy. We like to see that. Then in the home second, Tech got the offense going. Miles Durham is going to look by the pass ball, which you should do. Trey Lunsford comes speeding in to score. Count that. Then the always dangerous Chazzy Guerin took a turn, and you can put wraps on that one. See ya. 4-1 Raiders after 2, and they kept smashing. Things went bad for the Trojans. Texas Tech wins 20-7. They improved to 5-2, and what a sweet series it was, taking 2 of 3.
It shows that we're capable of beating anybody in the country, and that's what you want your team to believe, and that's what we want everyone to think. When you try to get to the playoffs and get a regional bid and all those different things, it's important to have wins like this on your resume.
It sure is. To hoops now. Last night at the Spirit Arena, James Dickey's Red Raiders got their first conference win of the year. They oust Baylor 79-68, and they get there by hitting 11 threes in the game. Tech improved to 10 and 11 overall, 1-9 in Big 12 play. The Bears did make a run late, cutting the lead to single digits in the second half. Coach Dickey quick to point out to his guys, very key to finish opponents off when you're on the plus side of the score.
We hadn't had a win in so many games, we forgot what it feels like to finish a team off. So he was just telling us to take care of the ball and go down there and hit free throws. And Jason shot it well from the free throw line, and James shot it well also. So you know, this was something new for us, finishing the game off.
It was. And be sure and hang with us until 11:05 tonight. That's when our man Brian Mudd and head coach James Dickey hash out the week that was and the week that is to come, plus a little bit more. That's the James Dickey Show at 11:05 right here on the Peacock. Also yesterday, the Lady Raiders racked up their 19th win of the year. They beat Texas A&M 58-44. They sit in 4th place in the Big 12 at 8-3. Next week is big with Nebraska and Oklahoma in town. 2 they need to win, not to mention some other goals in mind.
You're also playing for seeds in the Big 12 tournament, hoping you can stay in that tournament as long as possible, and maybe more important than any of those are seeds in the NCAA tournament and that home court advantage in the sub-regionals.
To Oakland, California for the NBA All-Star Game. You saw it right here on NBC. Jason Kidd drives and provides the nice lead for Tim Duncan. Hello, 24 for Tim. He shared co-MVP honors with Shaq. Then Gary Payton. Sweet bounce pass to Michael Finley of the Mavs. Nice reverse finish. The West boys 11 better than the East. 137-126 your final score. You know, what a difficult time it must be for so many associated and not associated with the world of pro football. The passing of former Dallas Cowboy head coach Tom Landry may really affect us all. He was a true icon and inspiration to folks of all ages. Landry died of complications from leukemia yesterday at the age of 75. In his 29 years as coach of the Cowboys, he took them to 5 Super Bowls, winning 2 and racking up 270 career wins, 3rd all time. He was the true family man who put God and family over football. And in his years after football, he gave so much of his time to those who needed it. He will be remembered, and he also will be missed.
The thing that I always remember is the one snapshot, the shadow snapshot on the sideline with the fedora at Texas Stadium. And as you pointed out, the continuity, the consistency, just the demeanor that he approached the game with. I just think when you talk about somebody's timeline, the class that was associated with him, and it's very difficult these days. You don't see a lot of people that win with class anymore.
Well said. On the ice, the Lubbock Cotton Kings ran into a lot of offense last night in Fort Worth. The Brahmas beat the Lubbock boys 7-5. The Cotton Kings dropped to 33-13-3. They're back in action Tuesday night at Odessa. NHL tonight, Washington at Dallas, and that's attractive. Thank you very much. Second period, no score. Sergei Zubov delivers a beautiful setup for Brendan Morrow. That's a goal, his 9th of the year, and the Stars beat the Caps 2-1. Dallas now 31-25. Finally tonight, let's do a Vinny's Victim. And don't you just love it when a pro athlete tries to look super cool and in the process ends up screwing up the play? Of course we do. I present Dennis Rodman earlier in the week at home against Seattle. Watch the Worm showboating after the rebound. Uh-oh, he loses it out of bounds. And what does he have the nerve to do after that? Look at this. Blame it on the ball. Ah, that's pathetic. Take another look. Let this be a lesson to you. You're never as hot as you think you are. Wow, Becky, the world of the wild worm in Dallas continues.
All that dye in his hair.
Well, it's good to see it's orange or red or something.
It's at least like a blonde color.
Exactly.
Thanks, Vinny. And stay with us.
This portion of News Channel 11 is brought to you by Frank Brown Auto and Truck Ranch.
At Frank Brown Honda, you can choose from some of the most popular cars on the road, like the Honda Accord or the Honda Civic. The Accord SE comes with alloy wheels, keyless entry, power windows, and locks. Just $299 a month. You save over $2,500. Or choose the Civic, 4 doors, automatic CD, and more. Only $500 down and $234 a month. You save over $1,800. You can't lose when you choose Frank Brown Honda.
Frank Brown, the smaller profit man.
You could win the News Channel 11 official Millenium Bug. It's a new 2000 VW Bug, fully loaded. So how do you enter to win it? We call it Spot the Bug because it changes official entry locations each week. And when you spot it, you can sign up to win it. We're accepting 1 entry per person at every location.
You can register this Friday and Saturday at Gene Messer Mitsubishi Kia Volkswagen.
Stop by and enter and get a close-up look at the official Millenium Bug.
As children, we believed in fairy tales. On February 27th, Once Upon a Time becomes reality.
Who are you, strange travelers?
An incredible journey becomes a February movie event.
Cinderella!
Incredible for 200 years old.
Join an all-star cast, including Oscar winner Diane Wiest, John LaRoquette, Anne Margaret as Cinderella, and Cameron Manheim as Snow White.
Mirror, mirror on the wall.
Welcome to the 10th Kingdom, NBC Sunday, February 27th.
Closed captioning on News Channel 11 is a service of Covenant Health System.
Steve has one last look at the weather.
Sure do. On our first alert 7-day forecast, we do have that slight chance of precipitation on the South Plains from late Thursday on into Friday. You'll note the temperatures also begin to drop a little bit by then. Until then, warm and breezy afternoons.
Perfect. All right, and thank you for joining us. Have a great night.